Well, welcome again all to a Sunday night short. I see I've got a few more subscriptions trickling in, so very welcome. Thank you very much for signing up and seeing what I'm doing. Yesterday I didn't get much done. I had an appointment in the morning to have an MRI scan done on my left knee, and then I'm still feeling absolutely flattened at the moment. I'm not going to bore you with medical problems, but really seriously suffering from a lack of... my get up and go has got up and gone, as the saying goes. But I've got a deadline looming for the race bike here, so I have been out doing a little bit of work, and I'll see what... I'm not sure what footage I've actually got of me doing any of the work, but I'll just grab the camera and show you what I've been doing, what I've been making, and then we'll have a little look at some tooling that I've dragged out for you guys. Okay, I had to move the seat back a bit, and you see we had a welded attachment to the frame there. And then there was this piece of ironmongery that matched up with the studs that were moulded into the seat. So we've got just a simple plate for the front, and then for the rear mountings, actually let's go around the other side, it's a better angle. I did some CAD work, cardboard aided design, and made up these brackets and a plate across the top with a little bit of slotted allowance. I'm just going to have to tick these up, and having given it a little try out, that extra couple of inches, because you know these mounts would have been in line with these before, does make quite a bit of difference on such a small machine. And that was one of the jobs I felt was a must-have. One of the absolutely essentials is to put some internals into this, because it ain't got one any now. That's just completely straight through mega. So I'm going to have to make a little reverse cone to go on the end and clamp on, and hopefully with a perforated inner tube and some Acousta-Fill we can get it down and through the noise testing. I just thought I'd show you my boring heads. You know, fairly essential piece of equipment for the milling machine. And the first one I bought was this one from Kronos. And Soba, I believe, is an Indian firm. And quite often Indian means lower quality than Chinese. But both countries are quite capable of turning out top-notch stuff when they put their minds to it. And this is little 2-inch 50mm head, and it's pretty close, I believe, to a Criterion boring head. And you know, it's reading directly off the diameter in thousandths, and I've had no problems with this. It's always done the job. It's been a little small for some work, and I made a little attachment here that I can slide in and extend the range, and I've never had it out that far. I think the furthest out I would have had it is about like that. But then of course the slide wound over, and whatever I was doing, I got it done. But it is a little bit small and not quite as rigid as I'd like for some work. So, kept my eye out, and like Tom says, we like stuff in wooden boxes, and this is an Elliott boring head. Let's pull some of this out. Let's pull most of it out and move the box out the way. This is quite a nice unit. They give a rated capacity of 3/8 to 5.5 inch. It's slightly unusual in the clamping arrangement. This screw here will clamp this hole, or this one. It screws all the way in, and it uses the same thread that the adjuster does, and it comes with some quite nice little boring bars with some very nicely sharpened bits. Someone's obviously used some heat and made a crank bit for extended use, and again someone, because I don't think these are Elliott. I think these have been made up, though they have been blacked, and that one will stack in there. That one has a flat on it to get clamped. And then you can mount your bar way out and do something pretty large. And yeah, there's another expansion tool for boring deeper stuff. I don't recall how much I paid for this, but it wasn't particularly expensive. The threads were all chewed up, and I had to do quite a lot of working on it to get it to free up, but it was fine once done. Now, my last boring head is a little more special. And you may think you recognise this, and maybe you do. Normally this would be a Volupta, and it's an automatic boring and facing head. But this is actually a Japanese copy made by Mitsuguchi. And if we look on the back, you'll see it's got a T-slot and a pair of stop plates, and when these hit the pin, it actually trips out the... If I rotate this ring, you can see the ring below it is actually rotating in the opposite direction and advancing the head one way or the other. And you can, I mean, some people will just use this. They'll grab the ring with the mill running and they'll put on a bit of a feed. But what they're really meant for is, you might have a bore and you want to face the top of the bore, so you can do that. You can cut circlip grooves down a bore with it, and of course you can just use it as an ordinary boring head. I've only used it on a couple of occasions, and I always have to go and get the manual out to remember how to get the fast return and stuff to work. But you can pay an awful lot of money for one of these, even used. And I actually paid 110 Canadian for this, and then the shipping to the UK was going to be about another $70, or possibly even more. So I had it shipped to a friend in California for $17, and he stuck it in a box and actually sent it over and didn't charge me. So that's a very nice piece of kit. Now I know Tom and Adam have been showing off levels recently, and I'd forgotten that I'd been given this rather nice level. And it's made by Weiler of Switzerland. Oh, let's zoom out so you can actually see this. That's better. So you've got a wooden handle for lifting it so you don't put any heat in the frame. There's two flat sides, two with a V, and the specification is 50 microns per metre, 10 seconds of arc, or half a thou in 10 inches. And I shudder to think what these cost new, but somebody had actually found this left behind in a ditch after a car boot sale. Had no idea what it was, but thought Paul would like that, and they picked it up and gave it to me. Okay, well that's about it for this time. Quite a short segment this week. I'm working on a tool holder for the quick change tool post on the lathe. Haven't quite worked out all the setups, and you know, I've got to think through everything, especially if I'm going to film it and have something that's worth watching. So hopefully I'll be able to get out to the workshop during the week, and certainly next weekend if not, and be able to show that sequence to you. So thank you very much all for watching.